Welcome, Nerd Nation, to this latest edition of the Sports Nerd Show. We are a collection of sports nerds whose mission is to bring you as much sports talk as time allows over the next 60 minutes. Although we will strive to be highly informative and equally as entertaining over the next hour, we must warn you that there may be some cuss words along the way. But we don't give a damn because that is the way most humans in the real world tend to talk, and we, the sports nerds, are no exception. So without further ado, Nerd Nation, sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride as I present to you the founder and host of this crazy ass show, Scott the Sports Nerd Wright.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Sports Nerds, proudly streaming 3 times per week on the Sports Nerds Network. I am your host, Scott the Sports Nerds Wright, and along with my current co-host tonight, Mr. Elliot Big E Lamba, and Mr. Wayne, the Professor Lynch. We are here live and in charge, talking everything that's going on.
And in charge, fool. Get it right if you're gonna get it. If you don't get it right.
What did I say? Live and in charge, right?
Large
and in
Large
charge.
and in charge. Excuse me for my faux pas, Mr. Lamba. He's not going to excuse me. He's a dick. That's okay. We love him anyway. We will discuss the world of sports that's been going on, and we have plenty to talk about, especially after the last 24 hours. We are here live Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday nights on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. If you missed the live broadcast, you can watch the replays on Spotify, Facebook, Apple Podcasts, and on the blockchain via peak.d. Gentlemen, welcome to Third Tuesday night, and congratulations to the Florida Panthers as they are Stanley Cup champions.
Fuck Florida.
Tell us how you really feel, Elliot, please.
And I'm going to say that on the way out in 2 weeks.
The fact that you said congratulations, Scott, I'm shocked since you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan.
You know what? I can't stand the friggin' Panthers. They are our arch rivals.
Then you shouldn't say their name, just like he doesn't say puke. I mean,
I don't say that team up north either, so that's okay.
You had it right the first time.
Stuff straight now? Is everything looking straight now?
Everything's looking normal.
You're looking fine, Elliot. Yes, thank you very much for that, sir.
All right.
You're looking good. Hi, Sheila. Sheila in the house, Wayne.
How you doing, Sheila?
But yeah, I mean, for once, I actually sat down and watched that entire game last night. It was a great game. It was fun to watch. There was a lot of highlights and just intense hockey stuff. And I love the NHL final. I was kind of hoping it would go into overtime to make it even more intense. But Edmonton just could not get that second goal into the net.
Edmonton would have passed out if they had to go to overtime. I mean,
how many shifts did McDavid and Draisaitl have?
You know what? I don't think they left the ice.
Third period,
let the go. I don't think they left the
ice.
If they did, it was for a brief period.
Correct.
My gosh. They had no gas left at the end.
And they put out, and you know what? They put out everything they had in their body to get that second goal in net in the third period. And it just, I mean, Florida was keyed on Connor the whole freaking game. If you saw that.
But you know what? If you think about it, that one play in front of the net where McDavid had the puck and he was getting ready to go and put that in there. They had a discussion this morning about that. They said, well, do you think if it would have been Gretzky or Sidney Crosby or Mario Lemieux, that puck wouldn't have wound up in the net?
No.
I do believe it would have.
I don't.
I do. Because Connor McDavid was so damn tired, he couldn't execute.
Well, and that's a possibility.
The opportunity to do so.
Yeah, that's a possibility. But you know what? I don't know where you guys stand on it, but I agree with the fact that he was awarded the most valuable player in the playoffs.
I don't like that one bit.
You think Bobrovsky should have got it?
I got a major problem with awarding losers.
Yeah, I got a problem with that one as well.
Hi, Cheryl.
I have a serious problem with giving awards to losers because you know what? He may have had great playoffs, but when his team needed him the most in the last 2 games, he was a no-show.
I have a problem with the whole setup to begin with, simply for the fact that they give you, they give the award to the entire playoffs, not just for the finals. I have a problem with that.
That's what happens when your commissioner has Tourette syndrome.
Jeez.
I mean, did you watch him on that on the presentation? Oh my God, he was shaking and it was just like
looked like he was slurring and I mean
he looked like Michael J. Fox, for God's sake. I love Michael J., but he looked like Michael J. Fox.
That's messed up because Michael J. Fox never been that ugly.
True that for real.
Yeah, I mean, guys, Cheryl is in the chat, and she is a Panthers fan, so congratulate her on her team winning the Stanley Cup. You know, I have to say that because I love her and because, she is who she is.
Congratulations for drawing losers in the Stanley Cup final.
Oh, God.
What did I say on Sunday, though? I picked Florida to win only because you picked Edmonton to win.
Yes, well, that's because I don't. Again, that's why I don't gamble on sports, Wayne. Because
you should. You should. Whoever you say is going to win, bet the other way.
Oh,
yep.
God.
You'd probably be rich by now.
Yeah. Whatever you feel, don't do it.
Oh, Jesus God.
Do the opposite.
I will tell you this though, Bobrovsky, in the latter part of the third period,
I'll tell you what, man.
To me, he was it was like a conundrum. He was horrible but fantastic at the same time.
Yep.
I mean, losing his stick and just, I mean, it was. I was on the edge of my seat and I had no dog in the fight.
I mean, I was stressing out, man. I had no dog in the fight either, Wayne, and I was stressing out, for God's sake.
Sorry, but Bobrovsky should have got the Conn Smythe.
He should have got it though.
Because he was stellar throughout the entire playoffs.
I was gonna say, was he deserve it? Does he deserve it for his performance throughout the entire playoffs, or was it just the final? Just the final.
You seen how he shut the Rangers down? He shut every team that he played down.
Yeah.
If they're going to give it out for the entire playoffs, then it's Bobrovsky winning team. Bottom line.
Yeah. Give it out to the best player on the winning team.
Well, you knew that McDavid wasn't going to go out there and accept the Conn Smythe because they lost the cup, so he wasn't going to go out there.
He would have accepted it if they were in Edmonton and lost.
Yes, maybe. I don't know, but maybe.
But it's bittersweet accepting it on enemy territory, And honestly, I don't buy it. I mean, I know that in the NBA it was one time and one time only that happened where they awarded the MVP to.
Well, it also happened in Super Bowl VI when the defensive player for Dallas won after losing to the Colts too.
Right, and Jerry West won it in the NBA against the Knicks.
Yes,
and that's because he was the best player on the court. Period. But it was for that series. It wasn't for the entire.
It wasn't for the playoffs. It was for that series. Yes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, Chuck Howley.
Chips are down. Look, that's like saying, okay, so McDavid had all these points, and if you think about it, he only played 2 out of 5 good games in that finals. Out of 7 games, he only played 2 good ones.
And they just happen to be back to back, which makes it more prominent in the news cycle.
So let's say he would have had all these points. He had the majority of what he did in the first 3 series. But
he had a third of those points against the Kings.
Yeah.
In the first round.
And against Dallas and losers like that.
Right. Well, and Chuck Howley won the MVP in Super Bowl V against the Colts, but the Colts ended up winning that game.
Right.
So,
well, that's because again, Howley was probably the best player on the field because Dallas.
And that Super Bowl was full of errors and gaffes, and it was just a mistake-filled game to begin with. I mean, Dallas dominated that game the entire way, and then Pat O'Brien kicks the miracle field goal at the end to win the game. But Chuck Howley deserved the MVP, even though it was in a losing effort.
Yeah, that blind squirrel shouldn't have got that nut. Yeah, sorry.
Right.
But when it became clear to me that they award the most valuable player for the entire playoffs, that totally turned me off.
Yeah.
It totally made whatever the excitement of the playoffs was, which it was very exciting, by the way.
Yeah.
It made it counterproductive when they gave away the winning, when Bobrovsky should have won it.
Well, you know what? I've watched a few of the pundits comment and address it, and most of them, especially NHL players, most of them have said that McDavid did deserve that Conn Smythe trophy.
No, McDavid deserved a trophy, but not the most valuable player for an entire freaking playoff. Okay, I don't like the rule or the premise that you give somebody a most valuable player of an entire playoff series. I mean, entire playoff season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you reserve a trophy for the MVP of the winning championship team. You want to give another trophy to somebody who had the most points or whatever, you know.
Well, he did break a lot of Wayne Gretzky's playoff.
That's fine. That's fine. But guess what?
He didn't win.
He didn't win a cup. Wayne Gretzky won what, 5? 6?
He won one in LA, right?
If you look at all these guys you're talking about, and I mentioned Crosby and Lemieux, Gretzky,
right.
They all won cups.
Yep.
When McDavid needed to show up, he didn't.
2 shots.
No points. 2 shots in 2 games.
Yeah.
When the chips were down and the championship was on the line, he shriveled. He shrunk.
Bobrovsky should have won it, and in my opinion, if you wanted to put McDavid in second place, maybe. But in my opinion, after Bobrovsky, it would have been Barkov for the Panthers.
Yeah, well, Barkov
to get the
yeah.
But you give it to the winning team.
Yeah, I mean, and you could tell by the fans' reaction last night that they thought it was bullshit too.
Oh yeah, Gary Bettman made that announcement, and the entire arena just went, "What the hell are you talking about?"
The hell out of him.
Yeah.
That made him twitch even more.
Yeah, and do you really think Connor McDavid was going to come out after that? Not a chance.
Well, no. I mean, they did their. You know what's great? What's great about the NHL is when the series are over, whether it be playoff series, championship series, conference championship series, or the cup, the handshake line in the NHL is.
Didn't you say that he was going to say that? Didn't I just say he was going to say that?
What?
Please don't give me this handshake line bullshit.
Really?
Okay. Please don't.
Why?
That doesn't distinguish anything from anybody.
Why not?
Because it doesn't.
Why?
Why? Just because NBA players and Major League players, they're too busy celebrating, yo. What's the handshake?
The handshake line is unique to the NHL. Okay. It's unique.
It's a gentlemanly thing to do. But what's that got to do with the conversation of the Conn Smythe?
Oh, God. Anyway.
I would have been going through this handshake line like this.
The sad part is I believe you.
Because you're a sore loser for whatever it is,
no,
Elliot.
I'm not a sore loser. I just don't like losers winning anything. If you're a loser, you don't deserve accolades for nothing. And right now, Connor McDavid is a great player, but he's a loser.
He's probably the best player in the NHL right now.
He's the best loser in the NHL right
now. Oh, God. I'm looking for some positivity, Wayne. Can you help me here?
Nope.
Unfortunately, everything that E said, I got to roll with that. I got to roll with it.
Haven't you got some more rum to drink or something? Shit.
Only Canadians and Cleveland fans believe what Scott's talking about.
Oh, damn. He had to bring Cleveland into it. Thank you, Elliot. Thank you.
Well, that's because you're really close to Canada. That's why.
Well, all of Canada except for Calgary. Yeah, Calgary's jumping up and down with
Ken is
even Calgary is pissed that they gave Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Ken has chimed in. He said, I would have voted for Bobrovsky, but I had no problem with McDavid getting it because I knew the background of the award.
That rule needs to change.
Yeah, it has to. There should be outrage all over the place.
Yes, it is, Cheryl. Time for another bourbon. Thank you very much.
There should be a finals MVP, and then if you want to give an MVP for the overall, that's a different story. You give it to them after. You don't announce it after they just lost. Okay, after the series is over and everything's been, in the past, then you say, okay, well, the best player, maybe not the MVP, the best player of the playoffs, Connor McDavid. But when it comes to MVP, I believe that is solely belongs to whoever helps their team win the title. Plain and simple.
Well, and
unless the other team is just so full of slugs that they ain't got no choice. But that wasn't the case with the Panthers, even though I can't stand them anyway.
I can't stand the Panthers either. I'm not happy they won the cup because I'm a Lightning fan and they're our arch enemy. And you know what? I mean, Cheryl and I went back and forth all night, and she's got bragging rights for now, but we'll see what happens. Time to, like I said last night, time to reset, refresh, go Bolts, 2024, 2025. And what did I tell
you last night? Put the crack pipe down.
Oh, shut up.
Okay?
Go Bolts.
Put the pipe down,
That's I don't even know what to say with that one.
And there goes my camera again with the blurry.
There you go. See, that's what happens when you blurt out nonsense. Your camera blurs.
Oh, whatever. Good grief.
Hey, why don't you spring for a new camera?
It's one of the most recent kind of cameras that's been out there. So.
Well, obviously, you got a defective one.
Once again.
I've had this camera for 10 years and it still works just fine.
My camera works just fine. Thank you very much.
Oh no, well yeah, that's how come you look like you got blur in the foreground, not the background.
Yeah, I can see your All-Star jersey just fine.
I don't even know what to say.
Scott can't win,
I can't win from anybody, man. I mean, I have no friends on this panel whatsoever. See, I'm now clear again, so I'm happy with that. But that's
you got friends, you just don't have yes men.
There you go.
There's a difference. We can be friends, but I don't have to agree with what you say.
So what else is going on, guys?
Hey, Scott. We've known each other for quite some time, damn near 30 years. So
yeah, 25 years almost. Yes, sir.
Hey, y'all liking my custom towel back there?
No, I don't like it at all because I hate the fucking Knicks. Go screw yourself, Elliot.
I love it, man. It's awesome.
Oh, that's a towel. I thought that was a poster.
The Knicks are losers too. You like them even though you like them, they're losers too.
My wife bought me one of the Yankees, and it has the Yankees jersey with my last name on the back. When I got back from Arizona, they gave it to me for Father's Day.
Yeah.
And then I went on and I saw the Knicks one, and I said, well, that's why it says Biggie, not just Lumba on it.
Right.
Sweet. I thought it was a poster.
There you go.
I'll be hanging the other one. That'll be that, and the Yankee towel will be my new background once I get there.
Because he's getting down to the bare necessities because he's packing so much. He's got he don't have much to put on his wall anymore.
No, not at all. I wasn't put shit on my wall before. I was using virtual backgrounds, right?
Yep.
Right.
Well, now it's time to ditch the virtual and get down to reality. You know what I'm saying? Plus, tomorrow's the draft, and I got to give my Knicks some mojo.
Yeah.
Into that draft tomorrow.
Speaking of the NBA draft,
she says she thought her glasses weren't working because I was blurry, but it's not. No, it's
not your glasses. It's that cheap ass freaking camera.
Yeah. Gretzky's wins. He says Ken says Gretzky's wins all came in Edmonton. It wasn't in LA.
Could have sworn he won one in LA. That's right. Yeah, he did. He did.
Hey Scott, next time you order a camera, don't order it from Wish.
From where?
Wish.
No, it's a Logitech camera. It's a good quality HD camera.
Are you sure they spell Logitech right on there? Is it with a K at the end?
Good Lord. You're lucky you're moving to Arizona because I'll come down there and kick your fucking ass. That's all right.
Why would you? You wouldn't do that for nothing because you never came down here once in your freaking life.
Yeah, and I appreciate you've been here 3 times. I know, Elliot.
Exactly.
I just want to say, Cheryl, it's not you. Cheryl, it's not you or your glasses.
Yeah, no. It's the ugly guy with the blurry camera. Thank you, Wayne.
It's the ugly guy with the hypersensitive, ugly filter camera.
Yes.
See, now you added all that in there. I just said, Cheryl, it's not your glasses. That's all I said. That's all I said.
Don't get mad at your optometrist. They gave you a good pair of glasses.
And by the way, Wayne, do you see where Sheila says she's on the DL, on their IL?
What'd she do?
She's out till Labor Day. She says, where is it?
What she break?
Compound fracture on her left ankle.
Oh,
surgery next Tuesday. Her summer is over before it began.
Oh, not good. Not good.
She can still type though, unless she types with her feet.
Well, she doesn't type with her ankle, Elliot. She types with her fingers. I mean,
then why is she on the IL? Oh, you mean it's not on the IL from the show?
No.
IL for summer activities.
I mean, she can't go hiking. She can't walk anywhere.
Get one of those waterproof boots and get your ass out to the beach.
Oh God, Elliot. Cheryl, I mean, you know what? And I would think the boys wouldn't love me if they don't pick on me. So it's all good. They're picking on me. That means they like me. So it's fine.
Well, you're the one that always says you're dumb and you don't know nothing.
I'm not picking on anybody. I just said Cheryl is not your glasses. That's all I said.
You see, the thing is that Scott's been used to me picking on him for the last.
Elliot has been picking on me for 10 years, so it's all good. Whatever, I'm used to it by now.
Well, I usually pick on nerds. That's what the.
Oh yeah.
Thus, the premise of the show.
Yes. What else you guys want? I mean, we've gone through the we've gone through the NHL final. What else? I mean, I'm going to ask Elliot and Wayne. What else in the sports world are you guys looking at and keeping an eye on that needs to be talked about?
Well, I mean, we got the NBA draft coming up tomorrow and Thursday.
Yep.
There's a lot riding there. I mean, the Bronny talk and, what is it?
Do you think the Lakers take him at 55? They're not going to take him in the first round, but I mean, at 17.
If they wait till 55, somebody else might just sneak in there and snatch him up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, I don't know, but you guys probably already know how I feel. God, I hope they take him because that's just more content for me.
Well, and there's a rumor that the Lakers are going to offer LeBron a 3-year max contract.
It's not a rumor; it's a fact.
He's like $160 million for 3 years. That's the rumor.
That's the max contract. No, it's actually out there. It's not a rumor. It's right. What the Lakers are going to offer him. The max contract was 3 years, $160 million. But that's what happens when you're a player coach.
And they got JJ Redick.
GM, don't forget GM.
Yeah, see, he's got three titles in under his belt. So they have to pay him that extra money.
Right.
Why aren't they paying JJ Redick $160 million? Why? Because his experience is coaching a 4th grade team.
Yeah, exactly.
And he wasn't even the head coach. He volunteered.
Well, you know what? He did. They're paying JJ Redick, and he's going to be a great coach because he dropped the F-bomb in his press conference yesterday, too. So.
You know what? The minute that shit don't start working out, LeBron's going to get him fired, too.
Well, but JJ and LeBron are good friends because of the podcast.
Hey, friends. Hey, everybody can be friends with LeBron until they don't do things the way he wants.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm with you.
And I'm going to tell you right now, I don't see JJ, if he's going to be any kind of coach worth his salt, I don't see him using Bronny to the level that LeBron's going to want him to use him.
Bronny is going to be somebody they bring up from the G League or from their farm system, whatever it is, to play a couple of games with his dad and then send him back down. That's how Bronny's going to be treated. Because Bronny is not NBA. He's not NBA rated. He's not NBA ready.
He'll be on the team. Ain't no way LeBron's going to let them send him to the G League. Get that out of your head right now. Okay. he will have Rob Pelinka fired at that point.
Well, and then he's going to sit on the bench and watch his dad play.
I say this: he cannot be in the G League, and not for any basketball skills or lack thereof. I'm being selfish. He needs to be on the Lakers. I need stuff to talk about. I need Bronny and I need JJ Redick, and I need them badly.
Says the resident Laker hater, Mr. Wayne the Professor Lynch.
I got things to say.
Yeah, you're gonna have plenty to say with that. Just like I couldn't believe that people coming out. No, LeBron coming out talking about that Bronny should be on the Olympic team.
Tell me he didn't say that because I missed that.
He did.
Good God.
He said Bronny should be on the Olympic team.
Probably for experience, but Bronny, you know what? Bronny doesn't belong.
I just didn't ask which country.
Yeah. Come on. Now, based on what you just said, and I don't know this for a fact, but do they do drug testing in the NBA in the offseason?
No,
because that's just bizarre. That makes no sense.
LeBron won't allow it. No matter how many drugs he does.
The only person that can control LeBron apparently is Jeannie Buss, and she's probably not doing a good job of it either.
Can't do that either.
No, nobody controls.
You think LeBron would get away with the shit he gets away with if Jerry Buss was around?
Or not even close.
Right.
Or Pat Riley. Well, we already seen what happened with Pat Riley.
Yeah, we already saw that in Miami.
He tried to get Spoelstra fired, and Riley told him to take a hike.
You ain't got to go home, but you got to get the hell up out of here.
Exactly. That's why he wouldn't play for the Knicks, because Thibodeau ain't putting up with that garbage.
No. If you think Pat Riley's bad, Thibodeau, yeah, he don't play at all.
No.
Well, and if Jerry West was still alive and in charge of the Lakers, he'd be able to control LeBron.
Well, that's why Jeannie Buss got rid of Jerry West. Did you read that story about Jeannie Buss? Because he was criticizing the fact that she was dating Phil Jackson. So she got pissed about that and she got rid of Jerry West. She blackballed him out of LA.
Why in the hell would she date Phil Jackson? Give me a break. Come on.
Well, she ended up marrying Jay Moore anyway.
And then she sucked the whatever GM skills that Phil Jackson might have had right out of him.
Yeah, well. If Jerry West was still the GM of the Lakers, LeBron would have been kept in check. I'm sorry, he would have been. Because LeBron can't question the logo. Nobody could question the logo. I'm sorry.
That I do agree with.
You don't question the logo.
Well, he might have questioned him, but he might have been out of there as well.
And he would have been, and Jerry West would have put him in his place and said, "Why don't you go play for somebody else? Go back to Cleveland and then play because you're not going to be able to."
I mean, come on, man. You look throughout the years with Magic and Kareem and James Worthy and all those guys. None of those guys tried to pull the shit that LeBron pulls.
No, none of them have. You're right. I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Why? Yeah. Because Jerry Buss wasn't having it. And neither was Mitch Kupchak.
Yep.
You don't, I'm sorry for my language, but you don't fuck with Jerry West. You just don't.
No. I mean, come on. He was basically the original Laker besides George Mikan.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? He's the one that put the Lakers on the freaking map, basically.
Yep.
You know, and that's legendary lore that you don't mess with. And the fact that LeBron wants to run around calling himself the GOAT, that's another thing. Nobody cares about the GOAT conversation except LeBron, because Michael Jordan doesn't want anything to do with it.
Michael Jordan doesn't care about whether he's the GOAT or not.
Well, because he says it would be disrespectful to the people that played before him, like Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Jerry West.
Yeah.
Okay. Kobe Bryant was of the same mindset.
Kobe was the closest to Jordan of any player since Jordan.
I think he still ranks ahead of LeBron, to be honest with you.
Kobe? Yes, I agree with you.
From a leadership standpoint, and just an all-around player, Come on, man.
He was not a drama queen like LeBron is.
Yeah, and none of those guys scored 8 points against JJ Barea in the championship.
When's the last time LeBron scored 60 points?
If you have to say you're the GOAT, you're not.
You're not.
Plain and simple.
Right.
Plain and simple.
People speak for you. You don't speak for yourself in those.
Exactly.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And again, greatest of all time, that's a skewed argument left and right.
I mean, you gotta look at the era. You know, everybody talks about the greatest of all time, but you can't compare the era of the 60s and the 70s and the 80s to the 90s, 2000s, and 2010s. You cannot compare those eras. You can't.
It's like this one thing I've been seeing and floating around that LeBron and AD would have destroyed Shaq and Kobe.
They would have. No, I'm sorry. No, they would not have.
Okay, I'm glad you
corrected. Shaq and Kobe was a force to be reckoned with, and nobody could get in their way.
AD wouldn't be able to stop Shaq.
No.
And Kobe would have ran circles around LeBron.
Correct.
How's AD going to destroy Shaq when he can't stay on the floor? Look,
he would have rolled right over him.
He can't even outplay Jokic.
Right.
Big, unathletic white boy. Okay. Seriously. If you think about it, Jokic ain't no athlete. He's just a cerebral player. It's like Larry Bird. Larry Bird was no damn athlete. But he was a cerebral player that knew how to use his head and outthink his opponents.
Correct. Not to mention the fact he was a great 3-point shooter.
Look, the minute Shaq set a pick on AD would have been out for half the season.
Because he would have sprained his ankle.
Yeah. Yeah, like
no, he wouldn't have sprained his ankle. He would have hurt his unibrow.
LeBron's going to sit out next season because he's pregnant.
Waiting for LeBron to go to the WNBA so he can get schooled there.
Yes.
But you look right now. This is a big time for the NBA because right after the draft is over next Monday, free agency
starts. Yep.
And that's when numbers and players are going to be flying all over the place.
Yep.
I can't wait for that. This is an exciting time for basketball.
I'm just wondering if LeBron's going to take that max contract from the Lakers for $160.
Why wouldn't he? Why wouldn't he? He's a glutton, dude.
Well, if they draft Bronny, then he's going to take it. That's my
Even if they don't draft Bronny, he's going to take it. Why? Because he's about the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he cares more about getting Bronny in the NBA and taking the money as opposed to trying to win championships.
I'm going to be bluntly honest here, Wayne. Bronny James does not deserve, with his past performance at USC and what he's doing, he doesn't deserve to be in the NBA. He's not that good. He's not. He averaged 3 points a game with USC. Come on.
Now, the contrarians will argue that USC didn't use him properly.
He didn't take advantage of his opportunities when he was on the floor for USC.
But if you so-called have the talent, even close to what your father was,
nice, Ken,
then
they have to put you on the floor.
They have to put you on the floor.
Yeah, they have to put you
on
the floor. To
be honest, Bronny's brother is better than he is.
I could agree with that.
Here's the thing. They both wear Jordans, by the way.
Doesn't matter with the shoes. Who cares about the freaking shoes?
Well, isn't their father supposed to be the greatest of all time?
Well, does it make me any better if I wore Jordans all day? Come on, give me a break.
No, I'm just saying it's a contradiction. That's like LeVar Ball having his shoe and his kids wearing Jordans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Does LeBron has a shoe? How many people go out to buy LeBrons?
2, 3.
I'm just saying, LeBron has his own shoe, but you don't see him making the putting that shoe on the forefront. Like, look, Jordan saved Nike.
Well, yeah, actually, Jordan built Nike.
Okay, he's the one that put Nike on the map, and it ain't been off the map since.
Because Adidas was going to be the one to put put Jordan on their list, but Jordan Nike instead.
Isn't it a big fu that LeBron has to wear a jersey that has the Jordan logo on it?
Is that why he wears 23 when he's playing? Is that what it is?
Exactly. Why is he wearing 23? Why couldn't he stay with 6?
Exactly.
You know,
but
LeBron's
I need to recuse. No, I was going to say I need to recuse myself of this conversation for my just sheer dislike of LeBron. So,
oh come on, man! You know me and you are like tag team partners.
Well, you know, Wayne, how bad is it when I'm from Cleveland and I can't stand LeBron James? Come on.
Have you ever heard the expression "you're preaching to the choir"?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, that's exactly what you're doing.
Speaking of tag teams, I wanted to change gears here real quick. Roman Reigns' dad, Sika the Samoan, died today.
Yes,
I saw that. Yes.
Dude, I grew up watching the Samoans with who was their manager? Wasn't it Lou Albano?
At one point, he was.
Probably was, because Albano was great with the Samoans. He was a big time with the Samoans.
At one point, he was. Yeah, he was.
The Samoans were huge, man, back in the day. Back in the day when you had guys like Ivan Putski, Bruno Sammartino.
Yep.
You know, those were the days of true wrestling. Now it's just a production, but to have Roman Reigns' dad pass away makes it even more significant because Roman Reigns has now become the face of the WWE.
Yeah.
Okay. And
but are you happy with that, Elliot? I mean, I know you're happy in the WWE, but are you happy with that?
I don't have a problem with it. I just have a problem with them stretching it all out, like the 3.5 years that he was champion.
Right.
I think that's a bit much because you should spread the wealth some. Yeah. Even if you're the face, you should spread the wealth some. Yeah. Let other people get a taste and so on and so forth. And I know his family name is big when it comes. They probably own half of WWE. You know what I'm saying?
Well, and Dwayne Johnson's part of that.
Dwayne Johnson, well, yeah, and now he's on TKO board of directors.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And yeah, no, I mean, I'm just saying, look, Roman Reigns has definitely propelled WWE to heights that they were struggling when Vince McMahon, towards the end, was starting to lose his marbles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But from a personal standpoint, I think knowing that who his father was and that his father was a significant part of
Rocky Maivia, you mean? Rocky Maivia?
Who?
Dwayne's father.
Roman Reigns' dad is Sika the Samoan.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Rocky Johnson
was Dwayne Johnson's father. Yes.
Johnson's dad.
Yeah.
Okay. And that whole family dynamic, I don't know if you guys even saw Young Rock on NBC.
Loved that show.
Oh, it was great, dude.
Loved it.
It was awesome. I'm sorry it only lasted 2 seasons, but you can only go so far when the guy's running for president and he loses. Yeah. Campaigning for president, and he winds up losing. So, but no, it was great because it gave me a chance to relive some of the stuff that I actually saw live and a lot of stuff that I didn't know about
and grew up with.
A lot of behind the scenes stuff.
Yes.
Right? You know, like with High Chief Peter Maivia, his wife, she basically ran Polynesian wrestling back in the day when Peter Maivia passed away. She basically took her. She was actually in scandals with the government and stuff, kind of like Vince McMahon was for a while with WWE. He had the government coming down on him, the feds, all kinds of shit. You know what I mean? But it just, again, and I think Rocky Johnson was the first black him and Tony Atlas, I think, were the first black champions.
First duo, first black duo to win. Yeah.
African American, and I think Rocky Johnson was actually the first black heavyweight champion.
Right.
Was he heavyweight or intercontinental?
Well, intercontinental started with Pat Patterson.
Oh, okay.
Years later. He was the original intercontinental champion. The United States champion came time after that, just like the big gold belt that they used to have in WCW.
Yeah.
You know, that was introduced to WWE after they bought out WCW.
Right.
But the original belts were the WWF championship, the tag team championships, and eventually they evolved other belts. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
Now, like I said, it's more of a spectacle and for entertainment purposes mostly. Because back in the day, I mean, if you saw Bruno Sammartino on TV once a month, that was a lot. They didn't just give championship matches every week
like they do now.
And if you look at a production like AEW, it seems like everybody that walks to the ring has a belt.
Yeah.
You know, whether it's Ring of Honor or NWJP.
Well, AEW is trying to be the WWE alternative.
Well, they're basically going about it the same way WCW did and ECW did.
Yeah.
They're trying to rival WWE, but we all know how it ended for those particular companies.
NWA, ECW, and WCW are gone. Yeah.
You know what's really, you know, and that's the thing. Triple H was on McAfee yesterday.
Was he really?
Yeah. Because Monday Night Raw was in Indianapolis.
Okay, well, the Indianapolis just signed a 4-year deal with WWE.
Yeah, and thanks to Pat McAfee, they're going to get Royal Rumble, SummerSlam, and WrestleMania.
Yes.
At Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yes, at Lucas Oil Stadium. You're correct.
Yeah. And Triple H was explaining that the reason that WWE reaches the heights that pretty much no one else can is because they're working on the here and now, but they're far headed to the future as to what's coming. You know what I'm saying?
If they're looking at what's coming, then
well, that's why
Triple H needs to step aside because Triple
Triple H, since becoming chief content officer, once TKO took over, WWE's been
really.
Him and Nick Khan have got that company running on all cylinders, and it's because of the foresight that they have. And it's Nick Khan. Nick Khan's basically the guy. He's the genius and the brains behind it all. Triple H handles the content.
Okay,
the talent.
So you're saying he's better than McMahon as far as getting content going on?
Well, let's just say that at this point, he is running, if not as good, as better than when Vince was in his prime.
Seems like he's taking it a step further.
Back in the 90s, basically.
But again, it's foresight because he was talking about, okay, so they had the different eras, like the Attitude Era, Ruthless Aggression, you know, so on and so forth. Okay.
Yeah.
But they also had to think of things that were coming down the pipe. They didn't wait. Look, they definitely, what was his saying? He said, you don't want to be first, but you don't want to be last when new things are coming about. You don't have to be first, but you don't want to be last.
You absolutely don't want to be last.
Yeah, like, so, for instance, when they remember when they developed the WWE app and they ran the course on that, then all of a sudden they decided, well, we can't handle all this technology that's coming down the pike. Okay, so they sold the entire WWE library to Peacock so that they can handle that.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And now, even more, they started seeing that streaming was going to become the big thing. And so guess what? They go out and sign a 10-year contract with the biggest streaming network in the game,
which is Peacock, right?
Netflix.
Excuse me, Netflix. You're correct. Yes.
Monday Night Raw is going to be on Netflix, and he announced yesterday that it's going to be uncensored.
Ooh.
So we're going back to the Attitude Era, you think?
We're going back to the eras where you're going to see blood. There's not going to be any editing or you know,
sex, drug, and rock and roll is what you're saying, right?
Oh no, you see like Fox, for instance. Okay, when there's stuff on Fox, the minute the crowd starts chanting "Holy shit," they censor out shit.
Right.
So
Netflix
holy
won't do
blank,
that.
holy blank, holy blank. And then if it's something like when The Rock was doing the final boss routine, and he would start throwing F-bombs and stuff like that.
That's Dwayne Johnson. There is no censor with Dwayne Johnson.
They totally block out. They didn't even go to fade to black.
Right.
Okay. And people were thinking they were watching the ending of The Sopranos. You know what I'm saying? Like there's something wrong with my cable. What's going on?
Right.
You know, so but now when they go to Netflix is not one that's going to censor anything.
Well, that's because Netflix doesn't censor
because
shit.
it's a streaming service
and not subjected to FCC violations. Right.
Yeah.
There's no FCC crap going on there.
Correct.
There's no regulations as far as that goes. So
correct.
At least not yet.
Well, and that's the thing is that you can't regulate the internet.
If someone pays for streaming, Wayne, they're not going to. They have the right to not censor anything.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Paying for access,
it shouldn't happen.
Can't get involved.
It shouldn't happen,
and it's not going to happen because and now you see how sports and stuff like that are starting to move to streaming networks like Max,
Paramount Plus, Amazon.
Yeah. Yes. They're all over Peacock, all over the place.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Because that's the trend. Now the WWE right now is capitalizing on that with signing with Netflix. But at the same time, they're probably thinking about the next big thing.
Right. When does that contract go into effect, Elliot? When do they start broadcasting through Netflix? When is that going to happen?
January 2025.
So this coming January. Okay.
This coming January, Monday Night Raw will be.
So Triple H can go back to the Attitude Era and start doing whatever he wants.
He can pretty much create a mixture of the Attitude, Ruthless Aggression, and all those eras put together. Call it the Unlimited Era.
I mean, you know what? They don't necessarily have to focus their attention on kids and the younger generation. They can do whatever they want.
Right. And the thing is that I think it's like you can try to block your kids from learning this, that, or the other, but that's not reality in life.
No.
Once kids go out in the real world, they're going to hear people cuss and spew things that you don't want them to.
Yeah.
So what are you going to do? Isolate them?
And it may make the product better to begin with.
It's just going. Look, it's going to be friendly for all ages, and parents still have the right to,
filter it out,
watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is that it's like when my dad, right? When I was growing up, my dad had asked me if I knew anybody where he could get some weed from. And I didn't want to say yes because I didn't want him to know that I was smoking weed.
Right, gotcha. Right.
And so I said, well, I might. And he's like, well, no, because you know what? If you give me some weed, then I want you to smoke with me because I'd rather you be smoking with me than with anybody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a parent who has all your life enjoyed stuff like Attitude Era and stuff like that, wean your kids onto it. Don't totally block them because first of all, you're being hypocritical.
What you're saying tells me that they're appealing to the teenagers that watched WWE back in the 90s during the Attitude Era, who are now old enough to be parents of teenagers themselves. Okay. And they can share in their joy of what WWE used to be.
How would those teenagers back in the day have felt if their parents told them, you can't watch that?
Bullshit. Fuck you. I'm watching it whatever I want.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of fighting it, that's like saying don't do drugs, but yet you did drugs and you're going to get mad because your kid winds up.
Don't do as I do as I say, right?
Yeah. That's basically what it comes down to. So again, look, the WWE, it's like East AEW now. They got blood and shit all over the place. They don't censor on TBS or TNT. Right. They don't censor the stuff and whatnot. But they'll never be the big production. Look at WWE right now. They are actually the second largest global product. Okay, on an international scale.
Yeah.
Why? Because they can go anywhere, pretty much anywhere in this world, and there will be tons and tons of wrestling. Matter of fact, one time AAA said they went to Russia, and Russia doesn't televise any of that stuff.
No.
But yet they sold out the arenas in Russia, and they had all these fans. And,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I know.
Product is global. I mean, you look at NFL; they're trying to do this, going to London, places. Yeah, I'm just saying. But there's a limit to the places that they can go. Whereas, look, what AAA said the other day is that once they go live on Netflix, 80% of the world outside of the United States will have access.
Well, yeah, and when the gloves come off when they go to Netflix, they have no limitations when they go to Netflix.
No, what I'm saying is, think about it. 80% of the world outside of the United States will have access to WWE.
Yes.
Because Netflix is global.
Yes.
Is a global product.
Yep.
So WWE merged with them, and now they're a true global product, which you can go to pretty much any corner of the earth, and you're going to have, I mean, that pay-per-view they had at Lyon, France just a couple months ago. The stadium was literally rocking, dude. The cameras were jumping up and down, and you know what I'm saying? They were singing the entrance themes word for word, where you can hear them over the song. You know what I'm saying? And that's the kind of stuff that you can't buy. But they sell it well. You know, and to me, that's what's made, like right now, Roman Reigns, I think, is going to be the highest paid WWE superstar once he comes back, which should be pretty soon. He'll be getting $15 million.
Why?
$15 million.
Why?
What do you mean, why? Because the WWE is a money train.
I mean, dude. Are they promoting him that much? I mean, Roman Reigns is also one of the most hated personalities in WWE.
And you know what? What sells?
The heel always wins.
The heel always wins. Is that what you're saying?
What sells more? Remember Eric Bischoff?
Oh yeah.
What? That motherfucker? Yes, I remember Eric Bischoff.
Yeah, and he was who he was because people felt the same way you just spouted out right now.
Because he was actually the leader of the NWO.
But he wrote a book one time. Perfect title. Controversy Creates Cash.
That's true. Okay. I got you on that. All right. I agree.
And hate sells more than anything.
All right.
When you're hating on somebody in wrestling, that means they're doing their job to the best of their ability.
Mm-hmm.
Because if people don't hate you, they ain't talking about you.
I mean, it's just like in life. When they say if a product is bad, it'll go around the world in an hour. If it's good, you might get it to about 10 or 12 people, and that's the end of it.
It's kind of like word of mouth, too.
Yeah.
You know,
hate sells and hate moves.
I'm telling you, heels sell more than faces do.
Yeah.
Faces is just the counterbalance, and now my camera's going crazy.
Welcome to my world, Ellie.
The good guys are just a balance but if you look right now up and down the roster of WWE, for instance, most of the people that are holding championship belts are heels, except for Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Right? Because nobody likes Damian Priest. They definitely don't like the Judgment Day. who, by the way, won the tag team titles last night.
Right.
From the Miz and R-Truth. Okay.
Well, nobody likes the Miz or R-Truth either, but that's
nobody
okay.
likes Liv Morgan as the women's champion.
I don't care if Miz is from Cleveland. I can't stand the son of a bitch, but that's just me.
Well, Miz is lukewarm, but his wife is fine, so I'll give him a pass.
Yes, Maurice is a babe. Yes, I agree with you. Okay.
I don't like to be so lucky as the Miz.
Yeah, Maurice is probably one of the hottest divas in the history of the WWE. So yes.
Well, yeah, I mean, even Undertaker with Michelle McCool, she's pretty.
Oh, Michelle McCool was great, you know? And I like who's the girl? Punk's wife is also one of AJ Lee. Thank you.
Oh, Punk's wife, AJ Lee.
AJ Lee was also one of the hottest of ever. Yes.
Well, we all remember Sable, right?
Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Brock Lesnar's wife.
Yeah. Yes, we do.
I remember that time she came out with the pasty hands on her breasts.
Yes. Well, did you like Lita as well, Elliot?
Lita was the bomb, dude.
Yeah.
Her, Trish Stratus.
That whole thing with her and Edge was just, oh my God.
Oh yeah, when they had sex on TV that one time.
Yes.
There was a bed in the ring.
Yes.
Dang. I missed that one.
Yes.
Yeah, no, there've been a lot of hotties, and there's a lot of hotties now too in WWE. You know what I'm saying? Guys seen Jade Cargill?
No.
Bianca Belair? Y'all need to get with the program, man.
I haven't watched WWE in a while, so no.
Well, and you're missing out, dude. Especially, dude, when they go on Netflix, you need to watch it all the time. Dude.
I may get back into it on a regular basis once they get to Netflix.
That's going to be off the rails right there.
Before we go, I had a question. Maybe changing the subject a little bit, but on Sunday, because usually I'll catch bits and pieces of a game, but on Sunday I sat and I watched that whole Chicago Sky Indiana Fever game, WNBA.
Yep.
Man, that was an awesome game. That was an awesome game.
It was, but there's some side stories to that. I mean, the biggest thing about that game is the rivalry going on with Angel Reese.
Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, what did she say? I don't know if you guys saw at the previous game they played when Angel Reese whacked Caitlin Clark upside the head.
Yep.
And got the flavor.
Yeah, and she got the flavor. And she said that wasn't no foul. That was a basketball play. I'm sorry, you don't wind up your arm and call that shit a basketball play. Okay. So I think she's a little too cocky for her own good, but Angel Reese can ball.
She can ball, 26 points. What was it? 16 rebounds or 15 rebounds?
26 and 15, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I get to go August 26th. I get to go to my first WNBA game in Phoenix to watch the Mercury against the New York Liberty.
Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart.
You should be happy with that. Yes, Brianna Stewart. Absolutely.
Brianna.
My niece's roommate, she has a club box reserved for that game.
Yep. Going back to WWE, Alexa Bliss has always been one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, Alexa, totally hot. You know what I'm saying?
She just had a baby, didn't she?
Yeah. She's married. She's got a baby. She should be coming back pretty soon. They just came back with the Wyatt.
Her and Ryan Cabrera is I guess that's who they had there. They had a daughter. Yes.
Yeah. And now they're married too.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and even China was pretty hot.
Huh?
Even China was hot.
Whatever. All right, guys, we're gonna get out of here. It's almost 7. It's just about 7 o'clock.
You see, we're running out of shit to talk about. I bring up WWE, and it took us home for the last half hour.
I love you, Elliot. I love you. It doesn't mean the audience followed us, but you brought us home. I appreciate you.
Well, I tell you what, there's a lot of people that like and acknowledge the posts I put up when they're about wrestling. So there's a few wrestling fans out there in Sports Nerd Nation too.
Yeah, well, we lost about 3/4 of our audience, but that's okay. I don't care.
What's that? So we lost what? One person?
I don't know. Whatever.
1 out of 3.
All right, we're gonna get the hell out of here. We'll be back Thursday night at 7 o'clock. I want to thank those that did show up, including Cheryl, Ken, and Sheila. Thank you, Sheila, even though you're on the IL right now. On behalf of my co-host, Mr. Elliot, Big E, the producer, Elliot, and Wayne, the Professor Lynch.
Right there, Big E Lumba.
Right.
Right there.
I want to thank everyone for showing up. Elliot, let's get the hell out of here. Play the outro, please.
Thank you once again, Nerd Nation, for spending part, if not all of your evening with us here for this latest episode of the Sports Nerd Show. Please keep in mind that we do this on a regular basis every Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday night. And since each night's start time is different, please check out our SNN group page on Facebook for the correct time. So until the next time we come together, Nerd Nation, on behalf of the Sports Nerd and his co-hosts, Ken Coslow, John Olson, Wayne Lynch, and me, Big E, may your lives be filled with all the best sports action anyone human can handle, as well as all the joy it can possibly bring you. And with all that said, good night, Nerd Nation, as the time has come to say, we